Now do me a favor, you gotta make sure you stay around and watch this entire video. At the end, I'm gonna give you a nugget that's going to help give you ways to actually be able to see if there's any down payment assistance programs for you. So stay until the end. It's a great piece of information. Hi, Krista Mashore, Homes by Krista. In today's segment, we're going to talk about why owning a home is much better than renting a house. So this is great for people that are thinking about buying, and it's also great for sellers to know why it's so good that you actually are owning your own home. So let's talk about a study that was done from Harvard, from the Harvard report. This information is from the California Association of Realtors. It says housing is one of the leveraged investments available. Okay, so homeownership allows households to amplify any appreciation on the value of their homes by a leverage factor. Also, you're paying for housing whether you rent or own, meaning renters are paying a payment anyways, except they're paying for somebody else's mortgage. So this is a really good quote again from Harvard, from the Harvard report. It says that while households that rent pay down the principal of the landlord. So renters are helping the landlord. So this is also good if you're thinking about buying a rental, right? Because you're going to have somebody else make the payment for you. But renters, you need to get out from renting and start buying. And I'm going to show you a little bit later on why renting is actually more expensive than even buying a home. Okay? So owning is usually a form of forced savings. When you own a home, it actually kind of helps you force your savings. Again, according to the Harvard report, having to make a housing payment one way or the other, owning a home can overcome people's tendency to defer savings, all right? There are also substantial tax benefits. You should go to a lender, a local lender. You can call me or you can go to your tax person. They can show you just how much more beneficial it is to own a home than to rent because of the tax savings that we have here in California. Also, owning is a hedge against inflation. So these are all reasons why, again, it's better to own a home than it is to rent. So let's talk about a homeowner's net worth. A homeowner's net worth is over 45 times greater than renters. Look at this arrow, it's shooting up. 45 times greater is the owner's net worth from somebody who owns a home versus somebody who rents a home. So renters, get off the fence. But sellers, if you have any extra money, let's talk about buying a rental. Now let's talk and look about monthly percentage of savings when you own a home versus rent a home, okay? So look at this. This is all here in our area, California, Oakland. Here's areas that are close to us, and it's showing you just how much you save in owning a home each month versus renting a home. Look at these numbers. San Francisco, 119% you will save owning a home versus renting a home. This is right here by us, okay? Overall in California, it's 97%. So this, again, is from the California Association of Realtors, the California Monthly Expense Report. It talks about buying versus renting, what the mortgage and rent is when you buy and what it is when you rent. This is, again, all throughout California, and it's about $125, $30 more to actually rent a house in California than is to buy one. Look at insurance and taxes. Again, when you buy, it's $509, rent is $20. This is actually a good thing because you get to actually write off your insurance and your taxes. That's a write-off expense. So let's look about investment appreciation. We are totaling on that negative $1842 for buying. We have negative $711 for renting, which is a total of a monthly savings of 98% when you own versus buy. That's good news for sellers that want to buy an investment property. Bad news for renters. Let's get off the fence and go talk to your lender. Many buyers can actually buy and they have no idea that they can. You don't need as much money down anymore, and it's very different than it used to be to be able to buy a house. Now let's talk about another thing why it's a really good time to buy right now. Interest rates are at a historical low right now. Very, very low interest rates. So let's look at this. You can see that in 2015 they kind of came up. They dipped again, but they are projected, according to Freddie Mac, for a 30-year fixed rate. They're anticipated at the end of 2017 to continue to go up. Right now they're averaging around 3.7, okay? And they're going to go projected from Freddie Mac to go all the way up to 4.8. That means as the interest rates increase, your buying potential goes down. So for an example, every 1% increase in interest rates makes the buyer's buying potential go down by 10%. What does that mean? $600,000 house you can afford to buy now. If the interest rates go up 1%, that means that $600,000 house, a year from now, you can only afford to buy a house for $540,000. Make sense? So let's talk about that. If they're expecting mortgage rates to go up, right? Interest rates to go up. Let's look at this. So we've got, if you wanted to keep your mortgage payment under $1,000 a month, we know that's pretty much impossible to do here in the Bay Area. So this is, just a kind of a sample to give you an idea of the difference of interest rates increasing and what that means. Back in 1985, this is 31 years ago, back then interest rates were 11.5%. Can you imagine 11.5% interest rate? I can't even fathom it. I've never seen anything like that in my career. So at 11.5% interest rate for a payment of $995, you could only afford a house that's $100,000, $100,500, okay? Look at how substantial of a difference it makes when interest rates increase or decrease. Now in 2000, interest rates were 7.54%, so they went down significantly. And again, look at the difference in payment. You could have a house that's $142,000, okay, which is for 39,000 whatever more than back when the rates were 11.5%, and your payment is actually less. That's how much of a difference it makes when interest rates go down. Now let's talk about now. Let's just say we're averaging now, current, present day, even though they're a little bit under 4%, that if we have a 4% interest rate, again, much, much lower than in 1985 or year 2000, that you can afford a house that's $209,000. So because the interest rate's so much less, you can afford a house that's almost it's more than $100,000 more, right? But yet your payment is still the same. So that's why it's so great to take advantage of these low interest rates. A good thing too for you investors if you're thinking about possibly buying a rental. Now let's talk about how much money you need to put down when buying a house. There's a lot of programs out there. I'm going to show you a place later to go that will give you programs there are when you're purchasing a house to possibly help save you money. Now look at this. This is on a house that's $200,000. Again, here in the Bay Area, that prices don't exist, right? So you can double that or triple that. Let's just say if you are doing a down payment of 5%, okay? You would need $10,000 down. Remember, you need to also include your closing costs in addition to that. And for a 5% down payment, at your loan amount would be $190,000, okay? An interest rate of 4.5, your principal and interest is $962, but you also have PMI. Anything that's under 20%, you have PMI, so you need to include that. So your total mortgage payment is $1,043. Now let's look at this. Putting down 20%, okay? You have $40,000 down, which brings your loan amount down to $160,000, still at a 4.5 interest rate. Your payment, principal and interest, goes to $810. So it's not that much difference. So when you have only 5% down on a $200,000 payment, it's a difference of $232 a month. So what I would tell you is, what's more important? Keeping that money in the bank, not sacrificing this 20%, paying an extra $230 a month, or it's up to you. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. But there are things out there that you can do that I'm sure you're not even aware of. So this is really, really good information for you. So there's a way to find out if there's any kind of down payment assistance. If you go to finddownpayment.car.org, and again, I don't work for them, I don't benefit from this, it doesn't help me, it can only help you as a buyer. So again, go to finddownpayment.car.org, okay? It's easy as 1, 2, 3. They're gonna ask you a few questions, you're gonna fill out the answers, and they're gonna tell you if there's any assistance programs to help you in purchasing your home. That right there is the reason why you should watch this video. So I hope you found this video informational. Please forward it to somebody that you know. We wanna make sure everyone has the chance to own a home and have the pride of ownership. And don't forget, if there's anything that you'd like me to help you with, or any knowledge you'd like to know, or anything you'd like me to do a seminar on, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Again, Krista Mashore, Homes by Krista, and have a great day.